All right, welcome back, Guardians and Gamers. Everything's looking good. Sound is fucking awesome. What is happening? What is on the go out there? I'm absolutely stoked to get into Bungie's recent showcase here and see what everything is all about. This is going to be a little bit of a longer one just because of how much awesome content Bungie has actually stuffed into this. So right off the bat, this is, like I said, this is the Edge of Fate reveal event live from Bungie Studio or Bungie offices or whatever you want to call it. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what it's going to be about.
What follows light and shadow is silence. That silence breaks.
So I think like this first image, I think this was some of the data mined stuff that we had previously seen before. I can't remember if Bungie released it or not, but yeah.
I am summoning you as a new age begins. I see sapient life turn to each other. They remember how to look to the stars. They remember curiosity.
Oops.
They remember how to thrive. But they have forgotten.
See, in this part here is what I think I've talked about it before. What makes me think that it has something to do with
We were here
going
before the traveler.
back in time. See if I can find it again here.
They remember how to thrive. But they have forgotten.
Yeah. So it's got to be some type of satellite time travel device or something to that effect.
They forgot we were here long before the traveler. They forgot that they need us. But they are fated to remember. I will remind them.
I'm sure you will. But not through me. Find someone else.
Yeah, I'll just, shed my skin like a snake here. So I don't even know, like, I don't think they speak as a hive mind or a, single consciousness. I'm not exactly sure if they were all speaking through her or she just had enough of their bullshit. So I'm not too sure. She's like, oh, I can breathe.
Is my own.
All right, everyone, hello and welcome here to Bungie.
I also want to say my jealousy is like up here. I want more of this swag. Give me some more swag.
Bungie HQ in beautiful Bellevue, Washington. We have got an amazing stream lined up here to tell you a little bit about the Edge of Fate and the future of Destiny 2 as well. My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here, but no need to worry. As always, I am joined by some of my amazing colleagues here at Bungie to share some of the finer details of the stuff that we're going to be getting into today. So, How about we go ahead and get into it so we can show you what we got. Starting first with this gentleman on my right and to your left is someone that you've probably seen if you've tuned into our streams before or Vidocs, the one and only Mr. Robbie Stevens, Assistant Game Director here at Bungie. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Andy. It's always a pleasure to spend a day with you.
Yeah, it's been a nice time, honestly, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
always.
to that end as well, for anyone that doesn't get to hang out as much as we do, can you tell everyone at home a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the creative and game directors for the game. So that means like I'm a vision holder and I work across the entire Destiny team with people like Allison and Dylan on the couch here to chart a new course for Destiny and a new future for the game. And just incredibly excited to be sharing with everyone today of what we've been up to.
Yeah, can't wait. We've got a big
Also,
show ahead, so thank you
Peter,
for being here.
Yeah, of course.
thank you very much for the follow. Greatly appreciated.
Someone who, again, has also had the good opportunity to join us on these streams as well. And is now firing some finger guns like a pro. Destiny's narrative director, the one and only Allison Lures. Allison,
Hello.
how's it going?
It's going so good. I'm here on a couch and I get to yell about Destiny with you. So
Not
it's a
bad
good day.
Yeah, honestly, I'll take that anytime I can. Well,
Same.
for anyone who also hasn't had a chance to yell on couches about Destiny with us or hasn't joined us in the past, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Allison. I'm the narrative director for Destiny 2. And so that means it's the job of me and my team to make you laugh and make you cry and make you go, whoa, I totally forgot about this thing from 8 years ago. How did they remember? It's because we're good at our jobs.
It's true.
So there you
Yeah.
go.
As someone who gets to sit in on the writers' rooms, I can now doubly confirm that. So thank
we
you for
love
being
having you
here.
there.
So much
Yeah.
fun. No, seriously, thank you so much. And of course, as we move right on down the line, the gentleman there at the very end of the couch, someone who is a friend to all Guardian kind, who's known far and wide, a member of the Destiny Global Comms team here at Bungie, Mr. Dylan Gaffner. How's it going, Dylan?
It's going well. How are you, Andy?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for
Got to make sure to ask every time.
I appreciate it. You need all the help I can get. Well, to anyone out there who may not have accosted you on the wild world of social media or is just somehow meeting you for the first time, do you mind telling us about what you do here at Bungie?
My name is Dylan Gaffner, formerly community team, where we would go out, collect your feedback, translate it to the dev team, and then bring their information back to you, kind of be that middleman. Now I'm on Global Comms, so I'm going to be in more of like a puzzle piece organization stage of what do we talk about, when do we talk about it, why do we talk about it, and then just making sure we get the information out to all players.
Yeah, well, we all appreciate it. Thank you for always being the voice of the player inside our hallowed halls. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, now that we've kind of got the intros out of the way.
So does that mean that like what we're going to be seeing is basically our feedback turned into reality? You know, that would be absolutely awesome. You guys be cooking.
Hey, let's talk about our new saga. Robbie, I'd love to start with you. What's up next in Destiny, and where are we exploring?
Yeah, so our first expansion this year, The Edge of Fate, is the start of a brand new multi-year saga called the Fate Saga. And so we want to tell a story about something older, about the nature of fate itself. Are we bound by it? Can we fight it? Because before the Traveler ever arrived in our solar system, there was already space magic here, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so ultimately, this is a story that we're going to explore one of Destiny's biggest mysteries and the foundations of the universe itself.
You're talking about the Nine, aren't you?
Who
Yeah.
told you?
I think it's
Subtle,
How did
I
you
know.
guess?
Yeah.
Set you off.
We did such a good job with this secret.
Really buried that lead, didn't we? Yeah.
Just a little bit.
That's, but I mean, to that end, so who and maybe more appropriately, what are the Nine?
Yeah, so buckle up. In the simplest description possible, the Nine are extraordinarily powerful beings that have been in the solar system for way, 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 way longer than the Traveler.
And just saying the Nine are extraordinary powerful beings. I don't know if Bife has touched on a lot of this, but what is the power of the Nine? Like, what is the lore behind their power? Like, I do know bits and pieces of it, you know, how they're tied to us, and there's like they're fractured within two factions of how they're tied to us, or the people of the last city, or the Guardians. It's you know, like, what is their actual power? Why is there so much mystery behind the Nine? Like, why? How is it that Xur is a traveler of the Nine, looks like Xur, and the other 9 don't look like Xur? How does that all, you know, he's a kind of like tentacly. I'm kind of curious, why don't the other 9 look like Xur?
We can think of them as being kind of connected to each of the major celestial bodies in Sol. So that's each of our 8 planets plus the sun.
Like, I see the tentacles, you know, but they're not Xuri. You know what I mean? And how does this tie into what we've seen on the ship, like on the dreadnought? Like you see all those tentacle things all over the place. You know, I want to know that.
Sorry, Pluto.
It's messed up.
Didn't make the cut.
All right, fair.
I don't make the rules. Yeah, there you go. But the important thing to know about them is that this is why we're going to be so focused on the solar system for the next saga. We want to ask questions about our home that we've never asked before.
Yeah. So when it comes to the 9, obviously, Eagle-Eyed Guardians have been able to spot references to them for quite some time, whether it be outright ominous or a straight-up game show in some cases. Can you tell us a little bit maybe about what we should expect from them?
Expect to be surprised. We're, like you said, the lore of the 9 really ranges from like Star Horse infinitely neighing to the 9 doing genuinely awful, awful things in our lore. And so the important thing to know about them is that the 9 are individuals. This isn't a collective. It's not like a hive mind. Each of them are kind of their own being, their own.
So what was she breaking away from then? Like when she like, you know, tore out of her skin or shed her 9 skin and popped out looking like a 9 Titan. Like if she's not in a collective mind, like what is she breaking away from?
Person in the loose definition of a person. They have different wants and desires. They can ally with different members and fight with different members too. In the words of one of our characters really early on, there are aliens and then there's aliens and then there are aliens, and that latter one is what the 9 are qualified as.
Fair enough. All right, so beings of obviously immense power, something that the Guardians have gone toe-to-toe with in the past. We've even faced off against the very embodiment of the darkness itself.
Yeah.
What could be tougher than that?
Yeah, so this is something that we think about a lot about, because ultimately the 9 seek to free themselves at no matter the cost to humanity. And because they're extra dimensional in the ways that Allison are describing, they're not bound by the same rules that we are, that we've really experienced before in the game today. And so humanity and the Guardians, to many of them, are ultimately just bugs that can be squashed on, that they don't really care or think about beyond, you know, achieving their ultimate goals. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, for the last 10 years, Guardians have really just been making their own fate.
Yeah.
I mean, so the 9 is challenging that. How are we going to deal with it?
Yeah, whether we like it or not, the 9 have a plan for us. And like you said, Guardians are really good at making their own fate and going out and deciding who they want to be. But what happens when...
See, and that, like, whereas, like, the 9 have a plan for us, I don't really get that, because having the plan or having something set, you know, you can call it fate, but you can also call it a prophecy.
Them deciding to make our own fate is exactly what our fate is. Like, what if that was the plan all along? These are extra-dimensional beings. That means they perceive our reality in a very different way and can interact with it in a very different way.
It's like they're a move ahead in chess.
Weird.
What a reference. But you were mentioning, you know, obviously the Fate
Foreshadowing, I do say so.
Saga is one of the subjects of today. How long can we expect the Fate Saga to last?
Yeah, so the Fate Saga is going to play out over several years, and ultimately we know where we're driving this car. We know where we're going.
So several years of the Fate Saga, and every year we are getting 2 DLCs and 2 raids and dungeons. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. It's looking good.
With it. But the conclusion of the Edge of Fate itself is going to leave you with more questions than answers, and it's going to be the catalyst.
All right, so the white thing in the back, that's that light tree, or I can't remember the exact name. I think that's the tree of, we've ran into it before.
Into this new multi-year saga, because we really want to return Destiny to being a game about big questions, right? And so the way we think about this is about pouring jet fuel into the speculation engine of the game. So we're going to be revealing a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts, and many of them we're not going to be answering immediately, because we're going to be telling the story over multiple expansions, and we're going to be giving you those expansion beats more times than we have before in the past. And so the Year of Prophecy kicks off with the Fate Saga, and with it, humanity is now set on a collision course with this celestial pantheon of the system that has been here for a very, very long time. And so the Edge of Fate launches on July 15th. And then the second expansion of our Year of Prophecy is Renegade, which comes this winter. And then later in 2026, we've got Shattered Cycle and The Alchemist. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of exciting beats. And so, again, the Edge of Fate is just the beginning of this long journey of this.
So the Edge of Fate, Renegades, Shattered Cycle, which is it's summer 2026, and the Alchemist. Now, is that the Alchemist that we defeated once already? That Elixni Scorn dude?
This awesome vehicle we're all jumping
Didn't
into
we-
and driving together, and it's going to.
Didn't we defeat that person twice already?
So, with regards to the Edge of Fate right here in front of us, you were also nice enough to bring the class something today. You've got some gameplay with you,
Oh
right?
yeah, we got some clips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should show those off.
It's a doozy.
Let's check it
Kinda
out.
like the present. Let's check it out.
Observe, connect, conceal. Guardian, I had a vision. Conform, comply, return. They just wanted to show us disasters. Observe, connect, conceal. I'm not human anymore.
I'm just hoping we don't see Scorn in this new expansion. I fucking hate the Scorn.
Return, conform, comply. No one else should know what this feels like.
Okay, those are cool. That was new. Oh, let's check that out, eh?
Return, conform, comply. No one else should know what this feels like.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting. Something different for sure. Teleport pads. Elixni teleport pads.
Enough. Terminate your suspicion, Commander. Remove your scornful blind.
What?
Suspicion, Commander. Remove your scornful blindfold.
Scornful blindfold. Oh, I don't like the way that sounds.
Observe.
Did they have like strand shields? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go back.
Scornful blindfold.
Those are glaives. Ah. Elixni with strand glaives. Well, that's kind of interesting. Stabby, stabby, you know?
Observe. Connect. Conceal. Conform. Comply. Return.
Just a ball of energy.
Return.
All right, that gives us an awful lot to go ahead and continue to dive into. And here to help us go ahead and explore a little bit more of it, everyone, you probably noticed we've been joined by someone new here on the couch. We are privileged to be joined by someone who's the originator of perhaps my favorite all-time Destiny emote, the one and only Dave Samuel, art director here at Bungie. Dave, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. For anyone who maybe for some reason somehow doesn't have that emote in their collection or hasn't seen you in a past Vidoc, do you mind telling us a little bit about what you do here at Bungie?
Yeah, I'm art director on Edge of Fate. I work with the art team to visualize the narrative and design and kind of bring it all together.
It's a lot to bring together. Thank you very much for being here today.
Yeah.
So with the Edge of Fate, it's obviously the first expansion in the Fate saga. Allison, I'd love to start with you, actually. What can you tell us about the Edge of Fate?
The Edge of Fate begins with an invitation, and we are invited, along with a very specific group of people, to a location, to a moment in time, for a very specific reason.
Very specific purpose.
Very specific reason and purpose, yes. And the place that we're going to is called Kepler. And so you may be saying,
Kepler.
now, Allison, hold on. Hold your horses
You read my mind.
second,
Yeah.
because the Kepler I know is the one that's way outside of our galaxy. What do you mean we're going to Kepler? And I say, like, dear friend, Didn't you know, if you look inside in Destiny's universe, the Oort cloud at the edge of the solar system, you'll find a little planetoid that also happens to be named Kepler here in the world of Destiny. And that's where we're going, to Kepler.
Super exciting. This is kind of a Robbie. We were talking kind of before.
So we're still in our own. We're still in Sol. We're still in our own solar system. Then that's okay.
The show. This is like like a first taste of something new, right?
Yeah, so what you're seeing here is us just trying something new. We're expanding the universe of Destiny, creating new mysteries to uncover. This whole destination is about exploring a
Well, that's very Vex looking. Most definitely.
labyrinthian world that it took inspirations from things like Dreaming City, exotic missions, dungeons, and it's wrapping it all through a Metroidvania inspired experience. And so at the heart of all of this, at the heart of the Edge of Fate, is a player-driven exploration and discovery of an exotic world with brand new abilities.
So actually, to even just maybe dig a little bit deeper, like how is the Edge of Fate going to be different from past expansions that we've made for Destiny?
Yeah, so at the global scale, when we're thinking about expansions in the Year of Prophecy and the formula of Destiny expansions going forward, first off, we're doing 2 expansions a year instead of just 1. And think of each of these expansions as a little bigger than something like a Rise of Iron from D1. And so both of these expansions combined are going to be even more expansion content than we've done in the past.
And from what I understand, is these expansions. So you're getting 2 DLCs a year, and I do believe each DLC has a dungeon and a raid. So that's a lot more than what we've gotten in the past.
And by delivering 2 of these a year, we're upping the pace of major world and story events that really matter to players. And
They float? Oh, that fucking sucks.
We're trying radical new things with each of these expansions. And so alongside this new destination of Kepler.
And these are cool. These are definitely different, you know, replacing the shanks that we had before. Yeah, you know.
This exotic world that players will explore with brand new abilities. We also have world tiers, and world tiers allow you to take on a higher level of
auto rifle
destination,
shotgun,
and attract some of the best loot within the release. But what's cool about world tiers is as you play through the mainline story and you play through the first couple of world tiers, you're going to unlock later world tiers. And as you're claiming these abilities, as you're exploring the world more, as you're discovering more within the release, you're putting these puzzle pieces together and you're figuring out how to solve all the mysteries on Kepler with different ways. And so you might play a puzzle in one way, a mission in one way, and when you're in these higher world tiers in the post game, you can start to solve these problems in different ways that you couldn't before in the original playthrough. And so alongside all of this, we're also going to have a ton of quest content that we're rethinking about how we use within the game. And so on Kepler, there's some non-linearity within the destination itself. And so with a lot of our side quest content that is related to the critical path, but you don't have to play it. It's there for you to explore. It's driven by your discovery of the world. You're out in the field, you discover something and you pick it up, and that's going to help you explore the characters and the world of Kepler more and go deeper on that story. And so, yeah, again, this is all about us just looking at the formulas that we've been building in Destiny over the last 10 years. And some of them are really strong, but they're due for some experimentation and some radical changes. And so that's what you're seeing here with the first taste of the Edge of Fate.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love everything you just said. I was a little distracted by some of the gameplay we were showing, like exotic sniper rifle, I think I saw, kind of recognize that.
Oh, yeah.
Some enemies with a couple really cool twists, like, okay.
Yeah.
But then also there was a guardian that turned into like a lightning ball.
Yeah. yeah. So, so there's multiple new abilities that your players are going to be able to discover on Kepler that's going to make them navigate and look at the world in different ways. But the one you're talking about, Dylan, we see it as our premier ability, the crown jewel of the release, and that's called Matter Spark. And Dave has joined us, and he's helps us take the vision of the narrative and the design and the art and smush it together in amazing experiences. And so I think Dave should talk to us more.
So is that going to be the new subclass? Is going to be Matter Spark? I'm not too sure. Or is it going to be like combined into Arc? I'm not totally sure.
Spark, please.
Yeah. So there's this new source of energy on Kepler, this strange dark matter. So the Guardian binds itself to the dark matter using the arc powers within You can think of the dark matter as like a medium, and the arc as this catalyst that will like allow you to completely change form. Transforming into Matter Spark lets you squeeze into tight areas, race around areas, jump over stuff, and it also allows you to turn into this basically electric rolling ball of death, jolting and shocking enemies that come across your path.
It's all
Obviously,
about the
one big part
balls,
movement, one big part
everything.
combat, but I mean, even just in addition to that, to look a little bit, wider, like how did the Matter Spark Ball kind of influence the world that we're going to be inhabiting?
Yeah, the team.
Well, you
really
still
had to
take damage
rethink
as
what
a
it
Matter
means to
Spark
build a
too.
destination with these abilities in mind. A simple hill becomes a ramp to get to a new space. A crack in the wall, it basically will reveal a whole new area to explore. It's also a new way to engage with enemies. Instead of
Interesting.
taking a bunch of enemies head on, you can find a Matter Spark pad, transform, turn into this electric ball of death, and then just like start racing around the arena, dash over their heads, and flank from behind. And
I like the sound
really
effects there.
Give the House of Exile on Kepler a bad day.
As well, we should. It's a good day for us as well. So what are some of the other Kepler abilities that we'll be able to unlock while we're out there as well?
Yeah, so each of these Kepler abilities are a mix of dark matter and.
So we got the Elixni House of Exile. So obviously they were exiled to Kepler.
Our Guardian's powers. So we have the Relocator Cannon, which is this new fallen dark matter tech mixed with void. This is going to allow you to bypass laser walls, use these cascading relay networks, and just basically teleport around the world. Another ability that we have is Mattermorph. This is dark matter mixed with strand, allows you to manipulate the environment. You'll be able to basically push and morph and move geometry to create bridges, open up doorways, and then also reveal secrets and new opportunities.
Yeah, so what's really important about what Dave is describing, and when we were thinking about building this world, it was all about like, hey, here's this new tool to navigate and see the world in a different way and solve little puzzles and mysteries throughout the missions, the free roam, and the quest content, and beyond. But also what was really important to us is that we lean into Destiny's first-class ability gameplay. And so with Matter Spark, like Dave is mentioning, you're jumping, you're dashing into enemies to destroy them. You're doing giant explosions with them. With the Relocator Cannon, you're just blowing everything up with void explosions and graviton lance style like little secret projectiles. And then what's really fun about Mattermorph is you can just be like throwing these strange shurikens basically to just like delete an encounter before you.
To translate, a shuriken is a shuriken.
Then like start to morph the environment around you and move to the next area. And so it's just really exciting. I'm incredibly excited about watching players just like solve puzzles and fight encounters in ways that like we don't even expect yet, and see how they take on the destination. And just like I really want to emphasize, you're going to be upgrading these, and when you get into especially the post-game experience, it's going to unlock. There's something unlocked with Matter Spark that really changes the way that you can play through the entire destination.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about dark matter.
Yes.
We have darkness abilities like Strand and Stasis already. Like, how is dark matter different?
Yeah, so dark matter and darkness are two completely separate things. They're completely different things. But dark matter does exist in our world. In the world of Destiny, we know it as being tightly connected to the Nine. It's what the Nine are actually made out of. In our world, dark matter is invisible. You can't really see it. And it wouldn't be very fun to make a destination where there's an invisible thing that you can't actually see. So lucky for us on Kepler, there's a bioluminescent microbe that allows us to see all of this substance that's impacting.
So they're saying like all the little wavy, smoky stuff that you're seeing is the bioluminescence, whatever, that's interacting with the dark matter, and that's how you're able to see it.
Bioluminescent microbe that allows us
to
see all of this substance that's impacted this world so much. It allows us to see how it's impacted the plant life, how it's impacted the behavior of the peoples that we're going to encounter, and we can see how it has been able to bring these things that are kind of unstuck in time into this current location.
I do have to put on my drifter hat for just a second and, like, what does it smell like? What does it taste like?
Yeah. Dark matter smells and tastes like bleach and math. Yeah, it's true.
Cannot wait to get that chip.
Math.
Yeah.
Get it with a sandwich today after.
It's zesty.
Yeah, it's really good. Actually, so on the topic too of stuff in the trailer as well, we heard someone talking there. Can you tell us who that was?
Sure. That was Lodi. Lodi is a new character that we're introducing in Apollo. Not in Apollo. We're introducing him in the.
We got Shahan 2.0. Yeah. Wonder how this is going to play out, you know?
Edge of Fate.
Yeah.
I want to give a special shout out to Brian Vill.
Could have just reintroduced Cade in some twist of anything. Well, you know.
Lobos, who portrays Lodi and does a spectacular job. This character is fascinating. He's kind of a fish out of water, but the fun thing about tropes is to kind of put a twist on them, right? So what if that fish that we pulled out of the water was the most qualified fish to be pulled out into the air?
Down for anything.
It's down for anything.
Yeah.
And what if that fish was kind of made to be pulled out of the water? I don't want to give away too much because this character is way more fun for the players to figure out what his deal is. But I will say that Lodi is very, very far from home.
Very fair, very exciting. So,
I do have to call out too, before we started this, you and Robbie were talking about how Lodi is like a notice me character.
Oh yeah. Robbie wanted a senpai.
I did. Yeah, I wanted someone that I just wanted to spend a bunch of time with on this new adventure we're going on.
Yeah, a friend that we can look up to.
Yeah.
right, yeah. Notice me.
We're looking up to some random dude that has never killed a god. Never killed. We're going to look up to this guy. Shouldn't it be the opposite way? Like,
Notice
Notice
me,
me.
Lodi.
Yeah, of course,
He
it
will,
writes
he will.
itself, or rather, Allison does. So, with regards to the characters as well, so is it a whole new cast of characters in the Edge of Fate?
No, we're going to see some new faces like Lodi and other characters, but we're also going to see some familiar ones too. Ikora is here. The stakes are high enough that she's here investigating what's going on. And as it turns out, in one of our major mysteries, she's kind of at the
by the way, this armor set is looking kind of interesting as well.
center of it. She was invited here, as was Lodi, same as we were. All of it's kind of tied together.
Very exciting. So,
The way, if I can,
No,
yeah,
please.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
please,
like
yeah.
the way we think about this is about all these characters, their fates are intertwined in some
Yes.
way. There's these puppet masters that have been pulling the strings for a very, very long time in order for everyone to get here at this moment. And so as a guardian and these characters involved, they're going to have to decide if they're fight your fate. Like that's what we think about. For these individuals, that's what they're going to have to go through and determine about how they can stand up to this new conflict that is surrounded by the Nine, because they are fated to be here. And what does that mean for them, and what does that mean for their future and the future of Soul itself?
So with regard to these new characters and this world we find ourselves in, was there anything about that setting, or in particular, that really influenced the creation, rather, of this world that we're going to be inhabiting?
Yeah, I'll give you a list of fun facts. First off, if you've been paying attention to Destiny over the last week or so, you already know that there's been people on Kepler for a long time. That's an old-ass computer that you were putting those numbers into. We also know that the Vex are here. They're studying the Nine, because it turns out the Nine can do something that the Vex can't.
So I guess probably when she means they're studied, like the Vex are studying the Nine, is the Vex is probably running simulations of how to destroy them or how they exist, something to that effect.
Dave mentioned, the House of Exile are also here. They've become fixated on a being that they call the Giver. And kind of most importantly, the dimensionality on Kepler is really thin. So the 3 dimensions that we can know and see and touch are very close to the realm that the Nine live in. And that means some things from Earth's past have been yanked into Kepler's present.
Exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, so we've been talking about invitations throughout this, and we need to call out an invitation that's actually going to be waiting in the game after this is over. Ride of the Nine begins.
So if it's stuff that's yanked from Earth's past, like that could open up all kinds of, different ways to go. You could even probably bring back Rasputin in some way, shape, or form.
Today.
Yeah.
So I believe we have a trailer to show.
Yeah, you were nice enough to bring a trailer along. I'll go ahead and give it a look really
Yeah,
quickly.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Also, just to mention, shortly after this stream is done, we're going to be jumping in to this event, the Rite of the Nine, and I'm stoked to see. We're going to get some different, some new armor, I do believe, some new weapons. See how everything plays out in there, and I'm stoked to get into it. These new 9 weapons are looking really cool. You got what is this first one up here? The machine gun, it looks like. Could be, yeah, machine gun, definitely. And hand cannon. That thing's looking decent. And a new glaive. Oh yeah.
All right, so that's Rite of the Nine, which is our essential prologue story for the Edge of Fate. And these 3 dungeons that are featured in this event are free for all players starting today. And so what's really important about this is that these dungeons are both for veteran dungeon crawlers, hardcore raiders, people who've been in these places a lot, but also new guardians who have never stepped into a dungeon before, right? What was really important for us when we were developing.
Yeah, I do believe from what they have shown before is it's actually going to give like new guardians the chance to have more of a tutorial guide through of the dungeon. I don't know why. There's some amazing communities out there that constantly run dungeons, teach people. And like I said, they're great communities. You know, you hang out with them, you get a group of people that you enjoy running with. Anybody's free to join my Discord. Discord link is in the chat. I'll throw it up in there again. Come check it out. If there's any of the dungeons that you guys are looking to do, I try to do multiple dungeons every week and run them on all of my characters, so I'm able to get all the armor sets, because some of the armor sets, even in these new dungeons, look really decent.
Developing Rite of the Nine was that we are changing the formula on how we can think about how we can welcome even more people into these experiences. And so you're going to be able to go in solo, buffed up, and explore a dungeon by yourself, or go in match made with other fire team members shoulder to shoulder for the very first time. But don't worry, because we also have that higher level challenge for our veteran, our hardcore dungeon crawlers, where you're going to be able to earn the best possible loot, exclusive rewards, and also an exclusive title as part of Rites of the Nine. What's
Just
also really
give me,
important about
just
this
give me the
event for,
things,
being a
all the
prologue
things
for
and
the
stuff.
is that it really reintroduces the emissary into the game, and you're going to learn why her job is pretty crappy, and why she quits at the top of the Edge of Fate, like we saw at the beginning of this show. And so, Andy, we've been talking a bunch about how our Destiny expansions are changing the formula for Destiny going forward. So now I think it's time for us to start talking about how the core hobby of Destiny is changing going forward, the day-to-day of playing Destiny, week-over-week experience. And we've got someone else on the couch here to help us talk about that.
We have an expert in that very subject now who has gone ahead and joined us on the couch. We are now joined by the one and only Mr. Ben Womack, creative director here on Destiny. Ben, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, seriously.
There is a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good conversation we have coming up.
Yes.
But before we get into that, can you tell us just a little bit about what you do here?
Yeah. So I'm the Destiny 2 creative director for the core game, or the core hobby, as we call it.
Yeah.
And it has to do with all parts of the game, everything from Edge of Fate, through our seasons, through the fundamental systems. And in particular, like Robbie was saying, I've been focusing on thinking about the kind of building blocks of Destiny 2 and getting those like not only stood up but also transformed and iterated on in some really exciting new places.
Nice. Well, let's go ahead and just start at the top. Can you tell us a little bit about what like the core formula of Destiny is changing and why?
Yes. So I think I need to start with the why first, because it's important to think about what is Destiny, what is great about Destiny. And Destiny is best when you have like awesome chases that you're excited about, you have really cool, powerful builds to make, and there's a mountain to climb that's right in front of you that you want to climb. You're like, I want that mountain, it looks pretty cool. And the thing that is not always true right now in Destiny is like it doesn't feel streamlined as it could. Players don't have as much agency. You know, we want to be player driven, we want to be more rewarding than we are. Because right now there are barriers to playing Destiny like in the best way. And those barriers are insurmountable sometimes.
Yeah, and that's something us content creators have pushed, and even veteran players of the game have pushed, is someone new getting into this game. It's an obstacle. Where do you start? Why is this going on? What do things do? What is Destiny? How do I play it? How do I get through it? What are the events? There is so much friction to go through to be able to understand the game and how to get into it. So making it a little bit more linear, like he said, streamlined, is definitely going to help people out. And I hope they make it in a way that the experience is going to be like, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
So think about that whole picture of, okay, what is the Destiny that we really want, that has been in the past, that we also want to get back to, and where we want to go for the future? That's where all the changes you're going to see have started, like at their inception point. So it's a big piece of the pie.
Massive updates coming across so many systems of the game, and this is like that. We're just getting in, digging into the surface.
Yeah.
I mean, to that same end, then, how are we making it easier? Pardon me, to go ahead and just get straight into the fun.
Oh no, let's do it, because that's exactly what we want to do. Yeah. And the first thing you're going to see when you log into Destiny with Edge of Fate, you're going to log in your character and see your ship in orbit. It's going to say, it's not going to say open director. It's going to say open portal. And the portal is our new front page of the game. We're trying to like get you to the fun as fast as possible and as few clicks as we can. Like we even have Edge of Fate there in the corner, so that it's like right immediately there. No fumbling around with the map to get to it, really. And we're also taking other big parts of the game, the ritual game and for seasons, and putting them into these ops categories. So the idea is that we're having these different ops for different moods. We're having solo ops. We have a bunch of fire team ops. We have pinnacle ops, and of course we have crucible ops. Still super important for the game.
Yeah. I mean, to start up at the top, can you tell us a little bit more about what solo?
You gotta put that Crucible is really important to the game in there, just because of Marathon coming out to completely replace PvP in Destiny. It's the way I'm looking at it, 100%.
Oh yeah. So solo ops is exactly what it says on the tin.
Which, by the way, Marathon coming out and this coming out is going to be a lot of content.
It is a bunch of activities that are made for solo players. And the conception point of that was we want to make activities for players who have a smaller amount of time that they want to play in, and they don't necessarily want to have dependencies on other players, but they still want to get in there and play for 10 to 15 minutes and get some real progress.
Fire team mobs, playlist, quick play, advanced, expert, and master. So that's decent. At least you can pick which level you want to go in. You got the 4 different choices. So hopefully you don't get those people that are going to ruin it and are OP and then go into normal and just fucking wreck it for people who are learning.
Some loot.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah.
Get some loot and get your character forward and feel like, I played some Destiny, that was great. And even if you don't feel like playing with other people, that's fine, because we have an activity type that is designed for one player.
Excellent. So, I mean, to that same end, what are some other ways that we can play and have fun using Portal as well?
Yeah, so Robbie actually has a great way of talking about this. So.
Yeah, some of the North Star that is what we talk about when we were developing the Portal early on was like, where are we headed with this thing? And ultimately, it's play your way. It's giving players more agency, more personal drive to figure out how they want to engage with the power climb and the new progression systems coming and our seasons. And so the entirety new progression and power climb is now all available to you in the portal at your fingertips in one place. It's really easy to find, really easy to jump in. Anything you play inside of that category is gonna, any of those categories is gonna help you make progress. And so, because we want Destiny to be welcoming not only to new players, but also old players who are coming back to the game to join us with the Edge of Fate. And we also want this to be like a new even playing field for everyone. And so as part of this is a commitment from us as part of the core hobby and all the seasonal content we're building, that we're going to be continually investing in this, right? We're going to be continually updating this over time for years to come. And so, you know, you're asking me directly, like, what else is there to do? Ben mentioned solo ops. We also have the fire.
So basically recreating the whole UI, making it a little bit more novice player, new player friendly, you know, so that you can just go in, oh, I want to do this, or, you know, oh, I want to try that. It's right there. It's just going to be a whole lot easier is the way I'm seeing it so far.
Fire team ops and pinnacle ops, both these are more around playing with other fire team members, shoulder to shoulder, where fire team ops are more quicker sessions. There are some longer form things in it too, but then pinnacle ops are more about those really long form or more challenging kind of focused activities like exotic missions, for instance. And so, and then the one thing we haven't talked about yet very deeply, but is incredibly important, and it's something that I think we've done for the first time like ever, or maybe since early D1.
It's kind of a return to form.
Yeah. You're going to be able to experience the entirety of the power climb within Crucible Ops by playing PvP, right? So this means like, if you want to be sweaty, Andy, which like I know you, Dylan, too. I know you're that way, right? Like I know both of y'all. Like if you want to put those sweatbands on, you're going to be able to play the entire experience in the season here and earn some of the highest tier loot that's also available in the game.
I have to say, this is like super exciting because like my player type or other folks out in the community, like they want to go in, they want to jam on PvP, but then their friends invite them to do a dungeon or a higher tier activity, and they're like, oh wait, I need to grind a long time to get up to power. Now through PvP, they can get up to power, and you can just bring them into that PvE experience and have a fun time with each other.
Yeah.
So.
That's honestly how I primarily played D1, so I'm really looking forward to that. So it sounds like the core, obviously, of what you guys are talking about, play the way you want to play. It's at the center of all of it. What if I really want to challenge myself, push myself?
Oh yeah,
more?
That's important to us.
Yeah.
Depth. That's important to us.
Well, depth, but also success.
Yes,
and
that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we really want to give agency. That's one of the things. Player-driven towards loot and challenge. And so we have a really hugely expanded activity customization system. We have a lot more difficulty levels, and we have a ton of new modifiers. We have 50 new modifiers.
Okay. Normal, advanced, expert, master, grandmaster, and then ultimate. Wow. Yeah, they definitely added some more levels.
Modifiers along with all the old modifiers that we've released in the past that are going to make this big curated web of options for you to experience any of the PvE content in the curator.
I also want to point out, it looks like there's been a level squish, seeing that things say like 200, 300, 400, 500. Maybe a level reset. Yeah. That's interesting. So your power is 100, combat power is 200. Yeah, there's going to be some things said about that.
And so, like, we have Banes, not just old Banes that we have, but new Banes as well. We also have boons to help you like get advantages in your activities and for your build. We have challenges and trade-offs. And the fun part is you're going to get these different combinations that are available, and you're going to then make a mix that's actually going to change the way you play and be pretty interesting, and sometimes be the way you prefer you play. Like there's a new boon called Grappler that I personally love. It's kind of my preferred way to play, where they give you 3 grapple grenades replacing your current grenade. You can't do the melee, but they recharge super fast. So any build you want, you could now Spider-Man around any map. It's actually super fun.
It's so fun. Yeah, and I mean, like, what's at the heart of what Ben is talking about is what we kind of call the virtuous cycle, right? Where you're going to be crafting your build, tinkering with the activity, looking at like how you can earn a higher tier of reward by taking on a higher challenge. And as you earn better loot, you're looking towards that next mountain to climb just ahead of you all the time. And so this is really about how far you want to push yourself upwards within the portal itself. But also, we also are thinking about the people, and that's the depth, right? That's the depth of the challenge that we're talking about. That's also, but we're also thinking about the people who don't have as much time to play with like solo ops, and also if you're scared of modifiers or you're scared of customizing these activities.
Or you just don't feel like
doing it. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Thank you. We have a bunch of quick play options, right, Ben?
Yeah, quick play options, and we actually have matchmaking and fire team ops.
Oh,
and we have
To me, like there's no reason to be scared of modifiers. All it is understanding, grinding the game until you can get the weapons that you're confident in, whether it's, unstop, it's barrier, or it's overload. Understanding how all of those works, understanding how those subclasses work. So you don't have to rely on specific weapons. You can just rely on the subclass you're using, whether it's to jolt something or whatever, or even intrinsic perks on specific weapons. And this is what I mean by, the friction for new people to join the game and, be able to jump into something that has barrier champs in it, or that has overload champs in it, is, to understand how I stun those. There was an issue where I do believe it was loading, brand new people into something that they didn't have any weapons to deal with barriers or overloads or unstops, and it was just throwing it at them. I wouldn't have a clue what to do if I was brand new to the game. So, to give them that where they can load into something that has absolutely no modifiers, like the barrier champs or whatever, and then be able to move up and progress, and you join a community, learn how things are, and so on. That's going to help people out quite a bit.
A Fireteam Finder, and so you're able to like really choose kind of what you're in the mood for.
Oh yeah, we technically have matchmaking across every activity that exists,
except for solo ops, because that's solo.
Right.
But yes,
Yeah.
otherwise,
but in the
aside
Fireteams
from
and
that
Pinnacle
one.
Ops, it's everything.
Yeah, you'll have options to play by yourself or with other people. Oh, actually, a really fun part is you can play a strike by yourself as hard as you want it to.
That's
now,
true, yeah,
which is really fun. Yeah.
Well, you're talking about like all the different boons and combinations. I think at one point you were saying around 50
You can play a strike by yourself now? Fuck yeah! No more blueberries.
or something like that. Those
50 new
apply.
ones.
50 new ones.
Yeah.
So it's like you can take those into solo ops. Like we're talking about this being kind of leisurely, bite-sized activity, but if you want to take it and say, I don't want Weenie Hut Jr., I want like esoteric level solo hardest thing in the world, like you can kind of customize and do that.
You can just do it from the very start if you really want to.
Yeah.
And
Depends on how deep you want to go.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, and the point is that you're going to like stretch that far, and we want the reward to feel like worthwhile.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, you want to feel like as you're pushing yourself, you are rewarded for it. That is something that's really important to the vision here for the portal. Yeah.
Rewards, huh?
Rewards. There are a lot of rewards, aren't there?
It's funny you mention it. Yeah, we've got Banes, Boons, modifiers, but let's talk about gear for a little bit here.
Yeah.
Banes, boons, and modifiers.
Yeah, so we talk about chases and mountains and builds. Like gear's at the center of all of that, and we actually have two giant gear changes. I'm gonna like put in two little buckets for us to talk about. The first one is Armor 3.0. And the next one is gear tiers. And so, like, talking about Armor 3.0 first, we are probably making the biggest change ever since Shadowkeep
It's
around
huge.
the system. It's
Yeah,
enormous.
It's a huge change.
Yeah, so like we're adding set bonuses, which is a long-requested feature for all the new armor that you're going to be able to get at Edge of Fate launch. And
So one thing that I want to mention about this is if they're going to do set bonuses, will it work with just the transmog? Because I don't want season after season or being somewhere and having a set bonus and having to hunt for the perks on the armor that I want. Like I want to be able to use my high perk armor, go and put a transmog on there, or make my character look however I want it to look, but not have to hunt for fucking good stat armor.
we're redoing all the stats on armor. Where they can now like
redoing
100.
all the stats on armor, so we'll be completely confused. Quit it. Lay down. So we could be completely confused about how everything is going to work if,
Go beyond 100.
Go beyond 100 for extra bonuses.
Yep.
We're going to, every single piece of new legendary armor that drops is going to have all the energy filled in, so you can build crafting right away. And it's going to essentially like
2-piece, what was that first one there? 2-piece wrecker. You deal significantly increased kinetic damage to combatants, shields, over shields, vehicles, and constructs, includes barricades. Okay, so this is worked into the armor. Okay. 4-piece concussive rounds, defeating Powerful combatants or breaking combatant shields with kinetic releases, disorienting kinetic shockwave. For being a legendary armor piece, that's actually kind of interesting.
Have all the energy filled in so you can build crafting.
Didn't we have this once upon a time, though? Yeah. Maybe. Something kind of like it?
Right away. And it's going to essentially...
Okay, what's this one? We got 2-piece force converter. After a final blow with missiles, rocket launchers, or whatever the heck else it has there. Grenade launchers, sprinting for a short time, gains speed booster. 4-piece reactive booster. Once per activation of force converter, sprinting while at critical health, being suspended or being slowed by a stasis effect will immediately grant speed booster for a short duration. Okay.
Essentially, like, there's more features actually that I could talk about, but I don't think I'm allowed to yet.
Fair. Well, something that we can talk about too, you mentioned gear tiers as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so gear tiers are very exciting because every single legendary weapon and armor that you can get is going to have 5 gear tiers, starting from 1 going up to 5.
What does this one say? After final blows with the rocket's grenade. Okay, that's the same as the one I just read. And you got your gear tier. So I'm gonna say that's what this is, and then you can upgrade it.
And like we have a 5 gear tier 5 piece of legs armor on the screen right now, and you can see that like this is like looks really cool with iconography, but it also has a ton more stats. And oh look, what's that?
Yeah, what's going on with the energy there?
Yeah, the energy.
Ben?
Yeah, that energy.
Whoa, health, melee, grenade, super. Okay, they simplified it. All right. So it doesn't look like there's a melee. Oh, yeah, it's the melee. Fuck me. Yeah, health, melee, grenade, super. So your class is +5. Interesting. Weapon. So your weapon can add to this total as well? Total 100. That's actually really decent.
Energy says 11, and it's
Yep.
true. It's not a typo. Like energy is going to 11 for higher tier armor, and so if you want that for your build crafting opportunities, it does like give you some new options you never had before. You're gonna have to challenge yourself to get more higher tier armor and keep on going to get yet more higher tier armor to get those options.
Yeah, and this is also not something that's just relegated to armor, right? When it comes to weapons, they're obviously getting their own refresh as well.
Yes,
What's Destiny without chasing some?
You read my mind.
Yeah, like weapons
seriously.
are part of the player identity. You know, people like have a gun that they love.
You got fashion, and then you have gunplay.
That's
right?
true. Though we do have fashion for your guns a bit now.
Hey.
well, so because once you reach tier 5 for your legendary drops, you're going to be getting.
Just saying as well, to be able to use any transmog on exotic armor, to make yourself match, your drip look good together would be really cool. If you're able to put any ornament on an exotic, would be cool.
Getting tier 5 weapons, and those have unique shader treatment. It's like essentially a completely different look that's going to immediately identify it to.
And I want this. I don't want to wait to then. I want it now. Giver's Blessing auto rifle. Look at the perks on this thing. Fuck yeah. I want it.
You and others that this is the highest tier gear of this drop that you can get. It's going to show on the weapon. It's going to show on the icon. It's even going to show when you kill enemies with that weapon, because there's unique kill effects for tier 5 weapons that you can turn on or off if you don't want it. But your gameplay will like show that no, yeah, the weapon that is being used is like the highest tier you can get.
Yeah, Giver's Blessing, which I think we have on screen right now. This is one of the Kepler auto rifles, and I cannot put this thing down.
So good.
Yeah, when we're playing through the Edge of Fate right now, and it's what's really exciting about it for me is that like when you see that tier 5 drop, like immediately that's better than like a tier 3 or tier 4 weapon that you have, right? And I think that's when we talk about making Destiny easier to just jump in, find the fun, make it accessible, but also create more depth.
Yeah.
This is what we're thinking about. It's like how can we just make it immediate like you.
What was the RPM on that
right
thing?
The Fate right now, and I cannot
720.
put
That's
this thing
decent.
down. Yeah, when we're playing, make it like okay, this is probably better than the thing I have right now, depending on what gear tier it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good example of how much time and effort is being put.
So they're really trying to, separate and diversify. It seems kind of like what you get an auto rifle and it's like 1% better than a different auto rifle, or an exotic is like 1% better than the best legendary weapon just under it. It's this is actually going to say, okay, I got a tier 5 auto rifle that is definitely better than the tier 4 auto rifle that I previously got. So are they going to make exotics like the highest tier that you can get? Like if you have an exotic whatever, it's going to be say tier 11, and there isn't going to be a legendary weapon that is tier 11. I don't know how they're going to do it, but
into these game systems to make them more like approachable. Change can be scary. There's a lot of change that's about to come to the game. We're Armor 3.0. We have so many new boons. We have a bunch of new stuff. And after 10 years of Destiny, this is going to flip some stuff on its head. So, I mean, we're going to have a bunch of blog content. We're going to have interviews with Robbie, with Ben, with more folks across the team that have been working on this. And then we'll also be elevating our creator community when they're creating guides, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a fun time. But ultimately, a big shout out and thank you to all the folks that have been coming into our studio, giving feedback early on some of these systems so they can be more approachable. And we're looking forward to all the feedback that's going to be coming after launch, too. Like, this is, again, one of our first steps into something, and then the community and we are going to build something amazing.
Yeah, and I can't stress enough how much feedback we've gotten from the community summits we've been running over the last year for the Edge of Fate, and just people reaching out to the community teams and others to us. Like, your feedback is invaluable. So, like, seriously, like, thank you so much. We're making this game together, ultimately.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And this is really awesome to hear. It's not like that Bungie came out and said, oh, we have a PTR. But having that, public testing of things before they just release it, because Bungie was always reactive. Nothing was ever proactive. And it was reactive to the point where something would be broken and it would take a week, or it would take, 3 months or whatever for them to address the issue and have it fixed. So, now that they have people actually physically testing these things before they come out with it and saying, no, you got to have it changed a little bit like this, or it's got to be tweaked like that. It's absolutely awesome. Proactivity.
Really important part of the process. Like, I don't think we would be able to make what we do without it.
Yeah. Working with the community is obviously a core part. Dylan, huge thanks to you and your team, obviously, for helping to lead that charge. And in advance for the big blogs you get to write. And then also our social media team will go ahead and get out the door. So go ahead and give us a follow.
I think, Ben, you were saying you wanted to try to break the record for longest twid?
I'm more predicting we are.
Yeah. So
it's not about try, it's the state of things.
It's going to be a multi-month journey as we head towards launch. So.
Yeah, be a good time. But, we've been talking a lot about the core Destiny hobby. How does that extend into, like, how players are going to experience, like, a full year of Destiny?
Yeah, so we've been focusing on improving and changing the formula of Destiny in multiple ways. And so progressing through the Fate Saga is going to be more meaningful with 2 expansions a year. We've been talking about how focusing our seasons.
I'll pause that for just a second if if you haven't seen it yet, but is there something in here that says so expansion, new weapon, new gear, new raid, the Edge of Fate? Yes. Well, like I said, I do believe it's 2 raids a year and 2 dungeons a year, which is really cool. But yeah.
And on the core hobby of Destiny and that commitment to continually updating it. And in addition, we're going to have 2 free major updates between each of our major expansions coming in the year of prophecy and beyond. And so ultimately that means there's 4 big beats happening in a year, 2 expansions, 2 free major updates between those expansions. So what that means we're not doing is paid seasonal content anymore. We're not doing separate seasonal storylines. And this also means we're not building a bunch of activity content that basically just goes away and is less meaningful to the game after 3 months. So we're instead focusing all of that effort that used to go there instead into building up the core hobby of the game so the core hobby stays fresh and exciting, year round. And so ultimately, this means no more paywalls for seasonal content, and also these major updates themselves that I'm signposting around right now. The size of them, roughly, and the inspiration for them we're thinking about is like Into the Light.
Okay. How are you presenting to make money? So you're gonna have to pay for something. Is Is it just going to be the DLC, and then you're still paying for it in some way, shape, or form? Just say what shape and form it is.
Okay.
So when you say like
You can't make a game unless you're going to jack up cosmetics or something that people are going to be paying for. There's got to be something hidden here.
to the light for folks that aren't out there, like what for a major update, how big is that? Like how do you encapsulate that?
So when I say Into the Light, a lot of this is like the inspiration of what it was. And with Into the Light came a really cool theme that wrapped around all the new stuff we were building within it, but also a lot of the reprise stuff as well. And also, with it came Onslaught, a new type of activity. It came with reprised exotic missions and a rethinking of how we could do like a rad style event, a raid event with the Pantheon. And so for our first major update coming a few weeks after the Edge of Fate launches, we've got Ash and Iron. Right? And so with Ash and Iron, we're going to be returning to the Plague Lands.
Returning to the Plague Lands, can't wait.
It's going to happen.
Plague Lands, baby.
And so that story is going to pick up from where we left off, from the Edge of Fate. And with it, we're going to have a new activity called Reclaim, a brand new exotic mission, new types of pinnacle ops entering that for the first time, as well as, of course, what's Destiny without loot to chase? We've got new gear, new rewards, and 2 new exotic weapons as part of Ash and Iron as well. And again, this major update and all the seasonal content going forward is free for all players. All the activity content that exists in the portal, that's free to play.
Very nice. So even to actually go one quick layer two deeper on seasons as well, what are some of the cool things that we're going to be able to do with the season that's launching alongside the Edge of Fate?
Yeah, Ben has been working on this space with the team for a while now, so I'm going to kick this one to him.
Yeah. So we're
You're still paying for it though. You can't say, oh, everything in the portal is free. It doesn't work like that. Let me look it up here. Store Destiny 2. Yeah, there you go. So it isn't free. Pre-purchase the Edge of Fate. It's $50. So pause this here. Like I said, the Edge of Fate is not free. The seasonal content within Edge of Fate is not free. You're still paying for it. And this is only the Edge of Fate. If, like I said, you're getting 2 DLCs a year, you're going to be paying, could be $20 or could be $30 or could be $80 for the second DLC, which is Renegades, I do believe is what they had said. And it's not going to be free. You're going to pay for it. So the seasonal content within it is not paid for. You're still paying for a pass for that content.
trying to make any time the best time to hop in the Destiny. And one of the ways we want to do that is we want to invest in events that are like accelerating the game and enhancing every part of the game, but also bringing new cool stuff. And actually, we've been working on this so long, we actually have some new cool stuff coming before the Edge of Fate.
It's a special little treat.
Yeah, special little treat. So this Friday, you can play a little event, maybe you've heard of it, called Heavy Metal, which is Tanks vs. Briggs, a new PvP mode. It's super fun.
This does look cool.
I'm playing it right now, I'm not going to lie. But the thing that people at home don't know is we have a new reward. That's a unique thing in Destiny.
Does it count as PvP? Because I heard fucking shacks in the background there.
Invest in this event if you go and play it. It is a free-to-play event, so this reward is free to play. It is
or not
a
shacks.
New combat vehicle that goes in your Sparrow slot.
Yeah.
Combat Sparrow, if you will, called the Griffin. And this is a really cool, like, combat-ready vehicle you can take anywhere you can summon a Sparrow. You can summon it and use it to fight your enemies and just have a really good time. And there's some really cool, build crafting things.
So is this Heavy Metal? Is it going to be PvE/PvP, or is it just PvE, or is it just PvP?
With this vehicle that I don't want to spoil right now, let people discover, but I'm super excited for it.
They all thought they were going to ride those skimmers forever.
Well, I mean, we're
going to ride the skimmers forever.
The skimmer is Flash, and the Griffin is Splat.
Hey,
For
there we go.
damage.
The dad joke quota has been met.
We got to get one in.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so they're trying to get people off of skimmers, so they're going to introduce a sparrow that you can shoot with. Yeah.
But that's not all, right? Ben, like, you've got more for us, don't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. So like I just said, there's more events that
Yeah.
we've been making. There's one that's going to happen right after the launch of Edge of Fate. It's called Arms Week, and it's a 1 week long event. And you're going to be focusing on one weapon archetype in Arms Week whenever it comes around. And this one is going to give you a new legendary weapon of that type. It's going to have some volatile mods that are for the week that are going to be super interesting and fun to play with, and some focusing you can do. But there is a problem when you say this event is going to be about weapons and about using them.
Yeah, you got to have a place to test all that out.
Right, and
Yeah,
so I mean, I've been doing that in EDZ this whole time. I don't know about the rest of you.
Those poor dregs.
Right?
Yeah.
But there is a new way now. We have a new feature, a long requested feature that is being added to the game with Arms Week. It is the shooting range. And the shooting range is being added to the tower. It is a now permanent addition to the game with the launch of Arms Week. We're not taking it away. And you can go there and you
This is actually pretty cool. Like the closest thing that we had to this was Callus's gift to us, where we could go into our treasury and shoot the different combatants that we had in there to test out weapons. So this has actually been a long awaited.
You can try out everything in your kit, everything about your build, with all sorts of simulations of different kinds of enemies and situations.
And I'm going to point out too, this is also going to be really good for new Guardians coming. Like you just seen the champion barrier champ that just popped up there. You're going to get new players that are going to be able to test out weapons on said barrier champ to see what they like, or to get used to how to pop those shields to be able to kill that combatant.
Situations, and it's all real damage numbers. It's like
It's even got a scoreboard.
It's even got a scoreboard
For you
right there.
and your fire team.
Yeah, your whole raid team can go down into the shooting range and try out, like, see exactly how well you're going to do for some kind of boss at this range or with
To
a
say, yeah,
strategy.
who can do most of the damage, right?
Yeah, well, you're
exactly.
finally going to know. That
So we have a rally flag. It's not just a shooting range. Like, you can go beyond the firing line and use your abilities too.
Yeah, you totally can. And like, if you wanted to, you could even take in Prismatic and pop Transcendence and try that out. And well, I think the reason why we're not seeing that right now is because it's a Titan.
Yeah, it's a good soldier.
Yeah.
Standing on that firing line.
Ooh, that's a
All about
decent
building standing.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of theory
auto
go
weapon.
ahead and have some upheavals to their Google Docs, I'm guessing.
This will be a really good tool. Like, as we're adding all of these different systems with gear tiering and all of that, you can go in and check those damage numbers in real time. Like, how do my stats change? How are these different gear bonuses going to affect my gameplay? You can see it in the tower now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about weapons,
Oh yeah,
got
well
one more thing, right?
Yeah, no, there's one more thing. I know
Yeah.
you're excited. So there's more events. Of course, there's more events, and the holiday events are coming up. Where Solstice is right around the corner.
It's
as well.
summertime, right?
It's summertime. Summertime is Solstice time in Destiny 2, and Solstice has some really cool twists and such that we're planning. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. I want to show you all the new holofoil treatment we have for Solstice weapons. So here we go. This is the holofoil treatment for Solstice in 2025.
This one is pretty cool.
It is. It's
good.
It's amazing every time I look at it.
Yeah.
It is an ocean, and
gun.
the line. Yeah, we put the ocean on a gun. How did we do that? It's beautiful. I love it. And any kind of weapon that drops.
The sand and the tropical water look to it, that is actually really decent.
For this event can have a holofoil.
Yeah,
no
so
matter
it could
what
be
the
tier 1 or tier 3. Yeah, any
exactly.
weapon can have the holofoil.
Yeah, the tier 5 holofoil.
Ooh.
Like that's gonna be a chase. Our other events will also have holofoils.
Yeah, like Arms Week you're talking
Arms Week
about.
will have its own holofoil treatment. Like every event, a major event we have will have a holofoil treatment. The holidays will have their own kind of special one, but yeah, Arms Week will have their holofoil drops that you can farm as well.
super exciting. No, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to have way too much stuff to chase down, so appreciate you guys putting all the hard work in, obviously, for that. But I believe we've got one more thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about, here are the free updates coming to Destiny, the portal, a bunch of different stuff, Edge of Fate. but we also have another expansion, and we need Allison back on the couch to talk about
right.
it.
Yeah, Allison.
She's the best one to talk
Yeah,
about.
we've got something very exciting, and so once again, Allison, thank you for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it.
Of course. I'm so excited to be the one more thing.
Yeah, it's a tradition around here, so we're glad that you could obviously go ahead and lead us into this one. But, you know, as Dylan mentioned, we've talked about the Edge of Fate, but this is the first year we're going to be doing 2 expansions over the course of a year. Can you tell us a little bit about Renegades?
Yeah, so we're going to have a dedicated reveal for Renegades in September alongside our major update, Ash and Iron. But earlier, we were talking about how sometimes our formulas can constrain us from experimenting and innovating. And so in that spirit, Renegades is going to be very different from the Edge of Fate. What I can tell you, and we'll talk plenty about it later, is that we're going to be experimenting and innovating with activities, with social mechanics, and more. But more importantly, I want to talk about our inspiration. And so I have to kind of tee it up first. So Renegades is going to be a Destiny, like definitively Destiny expansion. This is part of the Fate Saga, and it's going to push it
Definitively Destiny expansion. Okay.
forward in important ways and introduce characters that we're going to spend time with for years to come. It is an essential Fate Saga story. And it's an homage to a universe that has inspired Bungie from the start. It's a universe that all of us here on the couch grew up with, as well as everyone else at the studio and millions of you back at home too. It is a peanut butter and combination, a peanut butter and like chocolate combination inside of what we're making that could only be possible in the kind of world that we build here. And so I am absolutely thrilled to be able to give our first sneak peek at Destiny 2 Renegades.
Let's take a look.
What? That was Han Solo's blaster, wasn't it? And he just nonchalantly lights up a lightsaber. Oh yeah. Like a whole DLC that is dedicated to Star Wars. That is fucking awesome. I mean, Bungie, and I do believe it's what Lucas Arts that does the Star Wars games and stuff. I'm not 100% sure, or who they are even doing this with. So that is fucking cool. There's gonna be some people spending some money on cosmetics for sure. Well, the last one, Star Wars cosmetics that they came out with, not just recent one today, but the one before that, it was like what, $60, $80 for all that, Canadian, or you know, I was floored. I'm like, I'll buy an armor set, but I'm not buying the whole thing. But I know tons of people that spent the $60 just for all of that cosmetics. You know, like the ship, the armor set, the ghost, all of it. And you know, the fucking DLC is only $50. So I'm wondering. I want to see how much this cosmetics are going to be. They're just like money.
Okay, Robbie, what did we just see?
Yeah, so that's Renegades, which is coming out this December. And to really drive it home here, Renegades is a one-of-a-kind Destiny experience, right? And just like we on the Destiny team have taken inspiration from other genres like dark fantasy or cosmic horror.
That is 100% Han Solo's blaster. Fuck yeah.
Renegades takes the space western vibe and aesthetic that is Star Wars, and it puts it through that Destiny lens. And ultimately, it's created a new lawless frontier that is emerging within Seoul. And so
they were worried about, you know, how to get people off skimmers and back onto sparrows. and now they bring in an actual lightsaber that you can use. Nobody's gonna use another freaking sword in the game. It's just gonna be lightsabers. Wow, 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 all over the fucking place.
Like, we're so excited to show Renegades off a little bit today and to be talking about it more in the future in September alongside the free major update with Ash and Iron. But right now today, we're focused on Rite of the Nine and what's right around the corner with the Edge of Fate.
Absolutely. No, I heard a lot of calendars get marked just now on September, but no, super excited to share more of that in the future. But that actually leads us to the conclusion of today's show, which again, we covered a lot.
There's been a lot today.
Yeah, this has been a big show, honestly. No, we went through a lot of it. So let's go ahead and quickly double check. We obviously went through and the Year of Prophecy, pardon me, is going to go ahead and kick off on July 15th. And this kicks off a brand new multi-year Fate saga and our new focus on the core hobby of Destiny.
So again, like I said, when they say it's free, it's not. For the Edge of Fate, you're paying $50. And I bet you for Renegades, you're going to pay at least $50 or more, depending on what you're getting out of this. That's Star Wars, right? But that's fucking awesome. It's a whole DLC of Destiny Star Wars.
The first expansion, The Edge of Fate, is going to be launching again on July 15th, as I noted, with its raid launching on July 19th.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
So you're going through a lot of information. We already covered that.
Oh, yeah.
But like, you can't just sneak in a raid date. We have a new raid coming with the expansion, July 19th. We're going to have a bunch of blogs. We're going to have the rules, regulations, all that kind of stuff for our raid race.
Of course.
We invite everybody to come in, try to go for that world first title. And yeah, I mean,
count me out.
just
I'm
stay
sorry,
tuned
but
for
count
more
me
details.
out.
We're not going to spoil anything. It's a raid. We got to keep it secret.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
Yeah, everybody mark your calendars.
Yeah. Bungie.net is the place to go ahead and learn more. And again, follow our social media channels. Do us all a favor. So in addition to that, again, as we noted, Ash and Iron, our first free major update, will be launching on September 9th. Renegades, very exciting, will be launching in December. And then keep an eye again on our social channels.
December. Renegades, Star Wars, December.
We'll provide all the updates once they're available. But as far as today goes, the Edge of Fate and the entire Year of Prophecy pre-orders are available starting right now. Now, pre-ordering for starters, the Ultimate Edition will go ahead and unlock the new lane.
Yes, new sniper rifle. If you get the pre-purchase and whatever, you get sniper rifle.
Beyond
New land beyond that exotic sniper.
Super
Ooh, I
exciting.
can't wait, man.
I can't wait, same, honestly. That'll be unlockable in addition to several other goodies. And also, we've also got a collector's edition that.
So several other goodies. I'm not going to say that you're getting these 3 cosmetics here, but could you imagine? I'm excited.
Will be available. You can see here on screen it will be coming with an awful lot of very cool stuff, including this cool statue that you may have noticed here that's been sitting with us on stage. This is one that you can go ahead and add to your collection as well, but that's not all that's in there. Is there, Allison?
We got the writing team got a little excited on this one. We put a lot of lore goodies into this collector's edition. So like that weird metal thing, that weird envelope, boy, weird. Wonder what's up with that.
Just decorative
You should
points?
probably read it. Yeah. Anyway, we're.
I honestly, I agree with you, Corn. That collector's statue is, that's a centerpiece. I would put that on my dining table and just be like, fucking admire it, everybody.
We're gonna do a dramatic reading.
Eat your dinner, admire my Destiny centerpiece. Wah.
As soon as
Yeah, we should go downstairs immediately after.
It's
this.
really
Oh yeah, right
okay.
after this.
Count me in. And then again, too, as far
What's
as
up,
today
Corn?
goes, Rite of the Nine. This is the essential prologue to the Edge of Fate, and like all of our events moving forward, is going to be a free to all players. So make sure and go ahead and check that out when that arrives. And before the show wraps up, make sure and stick around for a little bit longer. We're going to be rating our good friend Sammy Cat as well. So,
And I know they didn't mention it, but the Rite of the Nine also comes with a whole plethora of emblems, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold it against me if there isn't no really cool emblems, but as far as I know, there is some really cool, 6 of them, if I'm not mistaken, that are going to be added to Rite of the Nine and doing those dungeons on the different difficulties and so on.
go ahead and give her a follow. Tell her we said hello in chat. Pardon me. If you have any Twitch Prime subs or anything like that, go ahead and do us a favor. Drop it over there and check out her stream. She's going to be having a good time.
But yeah, that's going to be the end of this. I think it's 30 minutes from now. We're going to be live in the Rite of the Nine doing these new dungeons, checking out these new weapons. I can't wait to see the perks that we're going to get on them, how those aesthetics really look, how those different shaders look with everything. But yeah, come check me, Squid, and Green out in 30 minutes from now. We will be live in the Rite of Nine. Everybody, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave some comments. What are you guys looking forward to in this upcoming DLC? What are some pros and cons? Let me know later.